Today, the winter work continues, the prep for spring and summer. We're getting there slowly. We've already done 2 episodes and today is the 3rd and hopefully the last. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the plot on what is just one of the most glorious summer days we've had. Summer? No, it's winter. But yeah, plan today, we're going to get these last 2 beds done and then it should start to just look so much better. I'm still not completely sure what to do about the paths. They're still going to look pretty weedy. I'm not sure. I'll continue to think about that. Any comments, drop them in the solutions. Any solutions, drop them in the comments below. Solutions, suggestions, you know what I mean. Like I say, there's a load of other little bits around the plot that are kind of bothering me. I don't think I'm going to get to do the greenhouse today. But yeah, let's just get stuck in. Hopefully this will satisfy a few of you. I know that the state of the allotment has been driving a few of you mad. Apologies, but we're going to sort it today. So I'm going to start on what is probably the slightly easier bed of the 2. This is completely dominated with this Swiss chard, which I've said before, I just do not enjoy the taste of. It's kind of okay when it's really, really small and like a baby leaf, but it's just got to go. It's not really a waste because it will feed the soil and this stuff should break down really nicely. So I'll get all the Swiss chard out and then we'll have a look at these leeks. Not doing well. I made some really stupid decisions here, but it's all part of the experience, isn't it? We're learning. So yeah, let's get stuck in, get rid of this chard. There we go, starting to look a bit better. It's so typical, isn't it? Something that you don't really enjoy the taste of. Grows like wildfire. It's like my most successful crop. Some of those roots are huge. Now I think I'm going to take these leeks out as well because, well, these are just the sorriest things I've ever seen. I might actually take some of these home. I can use these literally like spring onions. And I might leave those in as well because I can come up and take them whenever I want. But we'll get the rest of the bed looking nicer. I do have these spring onions in here as well, but the rest of it, I'm not going to dig over. I don't think it needs digging over. I might apply a bit more compost on top. I'm just going to sort out the edges. Hopefully make it look a bit nicer. If you're wondering why I'm not using like an edging tool or something like that, I've spoken in like every other episode of this series, the winter clearance series, I'll put a link up here, about why I like using my hands. And as I'm working, I just come up with more and more reasons, and the more I do it, the more I realize it's just kind of my personal preference, I think, is using my hands. And the main reason is definitely bramble. There's two pernicious weeds that I have here. One is bramble and the second is bindweed. Both of them are very easy to miss, and to get rid of them, you've really got to try and get as much root out as you possibly can, because that's how they regrow. So as I'm going through, I've just found a row here of spring onions that I've just, well, I've given them a bit of a hiding. They might come back, they might not, but whoops. This is just a really good example of why you shouldn't do what I've done, which is, well, not only label these clearly, but just leave your plot neglected, because you can end up making really silly mistakes like this. The other kind of mistake I've made with these spring onions, which I knew was a mistake as I did it, is that they're not in straight lines. There's not much rhyme or reason to this. So there's a little bit here, there's like some here, there's not actually any here. There's some here, but they're not really in lines, and there's that line miles away over there. So the reason they're like this is because this was all scattered with different kinds of lettuces and lettuces, is that a word? Different kind of lettuce plants. I always say lettuces. Yeah, it might have been strawberry. But yeah, I'm just going to go through now with a kind of more of a fine-tooth comb and try and get rid of actual weeds in the bed. I don't think I'm going to cover this over because, one, I don't want to smother any spring onions, and two, I haven't really got the right material. So I'll just try and have to make it as neat as I possibly can, and I hope not too much grows in here over winter. So there we go, first bed looking pretty damn good apart from the random spring onion placement. But yeah, as I said, this was the easier one of the two, and now we move on to this one, which is proper jungle. Wish me luck, please. Here is aforementioned jungle. As you can see, there's a little bit of spinach in here which is hanging on. The kale is looking really healthy, happy with that. I took the fennel out, not last episode, that was the garlic, but the one before that, I took the fennel out of here because that was absolutely dominating and sending seeds everywhere, and sure enough, there is fennel growing up. But this one is just completely, there are no borders anymore. So nothing to it but to do it. Let's get stuck in. Okay, so I knew this one was going to be bad. It is thick, but I've already got like 2 gigantic bramble thorns, like gone straight through my gloves. This is properly horrible. And it's really thick as well. It's hard to actually get these roots up. My goodness. I think probably my worst trait as a gardener is planting things too close together, not really being aware of how much space things need when they finally grow up. You know, I put a line of spinach here under this kale, not quite anticipating how big and bushy this stuff would get. So that's probably the main thing I've got to work on. Now I'm starting to wonder, did I plant the garlic last episode too close together? Time will tell, I guess. I'm also thinking that these 2 beds are getting so close together, I really might dig this one up, dig this path up, and have one big bed here. I'm sure I've got some wood planks I can use as a kind of pathway. Nearly fell over. Yeah, these brambles, they always break off, and you just got to try and get as much as you can. Would you look at all this? It's incredible how weedy this stuff is. This stuff, the beds, you know what I mean. Gosh, over here you can barely even see the borders. I'm not too sure what to do about the feverfew. I've been told that this is quite a good companion plant for keeping things like whitefly at bay. Very pretty for coming into December, so yeah, I think I'll leave this one. Oh, this bed really is next level. Goodness me. Look at that, you can actually see a bit of soil in here. But the weeds are just so ingrained, so I'm going to spend some time off camera now, I think, just tidying this up. So good though. I just love working this time of year. Oh, okay, hopefully, I mean, you can see the soil now, and you can see all this extra stuff that I pulled out. Just insane. I did go through as well and just take off a lot of the sad looking leaves on the kale. Awful lot of slug damage in there, and there's a few whitefly on the underside of the leaves as well. That's where they like to go on the kale, so. Oh my God, I'm tired. Gonna have a quick break and then we'll have a look at other bits of the plot, see what else needs doing. So on to the little odd jobs. You might remember, this is where I had some outdoor tomatoes. Didn't do too well in the end. Time for these to go. Okay, this is very annoying. Good Lord, right. These can go straight in the compost. And I think lots of spent compost here. I could just chuck it on the compost piles, but I think I might just leave it here for now, just in case I want to use this later for something more specific. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Gross. This is our frog Paulie. He had an accident. Bit of a hole in his head. Sorry, Paulie. I need your help with this one. One of the other things that I'd planned to do is to get rid of this borage because it's absolutely huge. This is a mini bed that's kind of built into the side of the greenhouse. Don't look in the greenhouse and don't judge me, that's coming later. But this thing is just teeming with bumblebees, and I think I'm just too much of a sap to get rid of this at the moment. I might go through and deadhead it because I am worried about the seeds, but what would you do? If you had this in your garden or whatever, it was teeming with bumblebees, literally one right here. Hello. I don't know, would you get rid of it? Because these seeds are going to go everywhere. I can't actually believe how big it is, but get rid of this. Old pak choi. I don't know, should I get rid of it? Should I leave it? This is one of the only other main kind of odd jobs. I've got a load of stuff left over from the pots in here that I just need to go through. Most of this is spent compost. Some of it is quite a nice texture actually. So I'm going to put this on the compost and mix it all in with all of the green weeds that I've just put in. It should be a pretty nice mix of brown and greens. But I don't think it's going to be fun. Just realised that a load of this has what I recently learned is called crock. Little bits of pot, like broken pots and mugs and, you know, hard stuff for drainage. I don't really want this in the compost, funnily enough. Oh, it's quite sharp as well. Whose idea was it to put this in? Ah. Ah. So this has a lot of stuff for drainage in, and I did not know. That's annoying. Well, not only are there gigantic bits of polystyrene, let me get the camera and show you up close. Now you should instantly be able to see the problem here. This is like a horrible mix of sand and big old bits of stone. Ah, why is it never simple, you know? I really thought this would be a quick 5-minute job, but now I'm gonna have to go through all this. I've cut my hand as well. I have to go through all this and I've just ruined it really, haven't I? I don't know whether it's worth it because all these stones are just so horrible. They're so small, is what I mean, not horrible. I think I'll probably just dump this out somewhere because I don't want it to completely contaminate all the compost. So that was a bit of an unfortunate end, but aside from that, we've got lots and lots done today. I've come for a little wander. You can see the plot behind me here because the neighbours are in and they've got some music playing, and I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I think I'm right in saying that that's the majority of the winter work done. All the beds are nice and weeded. I think I'm going to leave them as they are now for winter for the most part. Is there anything I've missed? Let me know if there's anything that's really bugging you on this plot. I know I've had a few comments where people can't stand seeing bits that I've missed. So if that's you and you've got something that you want to let me know about, then please do below. But I'm over the moon. It is so satisfying to finally have that kind of the main stuff done. Next week I think I'm going to focus on the greenhouse because, well, it speaks for itself really, doesn't it? There's a lot to do in there. So yeah, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please do let me know. Do all the usual YouTube stuff, like and subscribe, hit the bell if you want notifications, and as always I'll say thank you ever so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Like and subscribe, hit the bell if you want notifications, and I need to start thinking about more permanent solutions because the paths are just so weedy. It might be that I end up, this is just waffling. No, start again. So good though. I just love working this time of year.